it's Father Time. Runway 31 left to Kennedy. I'm going to try hand flying. I have got to get used to this Boeing Yoke that I have. I'm going to try hand flying from New York to Boston. Probably going to be pretty ugly, but I put the sensitivities because I'm a sensitive guy. If I go to Yoke and control calibration, sensitivities all the way up on the ailerons and the elevators, and the nose zone is down. Reading online, that's the way to go, but it seems to be herky-jerky to me. So I thought you guys might enjoy watching me flail around here in this PMDG 300. I'll just follow the ground check, keep the autopilot off, see how it goes. What do you think? Let's try it out. Might not be pretty. Oh, look at it. You don't see that every day. Menu, FS actions, doors, close all. That's probably a good reason to run the checklist. I'm just kind of throwing it together here. Oxygen is checked, flight instruments are checked, parking brakes released, control switches or item override. Did all this stuff already. Flight deck door. We can arm these bad boys over here. Flight deck door is complete. MCP is checked. Takeoff trim. Taxi takeoff briefing. Checklist override. Passenger signs are on. Let's check the up here. Go recall. Nothing. Looks like everything is ready to go. Come down. Normal. For taxi. Good, 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 good. For takeoff, flaps of 5. All right. It's good. I'm on takeoff. Bob is on flight plan. Let's just go fly this. No radio calls, no nothing. I've got to get used to hand flying this thing. It's still relatively new yoke to me. No yoke. All right, here we go. Well, that's interesting. You don't see that every day. Away we go.
Airspeed alive. 80 knots.
Let's get over on center line. It's going to be a lot of work, but I have got to get used to these sensitivities.
V1.
Rotate. V2.
Go, trim, trim.
Positive rate of climb.
You're up. Yeah, the sensitivity, I had it down, and I was reading that we should not do that. That we should actually put it all the way up on the PMDG birds. Flaps 1. And it's a lot of little corrections instead of big corrections. You know, in the airplane's much heavier, and you can make little inputs. This one, I was noticing the guy who was demonstrating, he's called Boeing pilot. He was doing a lot of little movements with the yoke, little tiny movements. Something if he did it in the airplane, the other guys would scream at you. But I've got to not fly like I fly the airplane. Flaps up. I'm trying to get used to it here. Yeah, the airplane I would just fly with, it's much heavier. See that? Airplane wouldn't move like that. All right, we're finding the LNAV, the scores departure, Yankee transition. Somewhere in here, they would clear your direct. To merit. Come in here. Let it fly over there. Heading. Heading select. For some reason it's not turning. There we go. And up here it's not quite as sensitive. Yeah, it's really really sensitive. I've got to get used to it though. The airplane, you just trim it, hands off. This one, a little more fussy, not quite as heavy. Let's go down to the box. We'll go merit, 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 this, LNAV. All right. Now let's just concentrate on the flight. Man, that's sensitive. Definitely is not like this in the airplane. I'm sorry, but it isn't. Let me go up to options, controls. This one, Boeing Yoke, control calibration. Let me bring this all the way down to 50. And okay. Now let me try it. A little better. See that? It's still... I wonder if it's something to do with the null zone. Let me go up here. Man. We go to options, controls, Bravo throttle, no, hostage Boeing yoke, control calibration. I'm going to put the null zone up a little bit, like this. Bring the sensitivity down to like that. See how that works. See if it flies more like the airplane. Kind of does. A little better. Huh. I would really like to get this down. There's transition altitude. Even more. Still a little jumpy. I don't know why it keeps going back to throttles. Control calibration. Sensitivity even more. Make it heavier. Null zone a little less. So with 10 on the null zone, sensitivity less. Yeah, the airplane's much heavier on the yoke. I'm able to trim it a little better. Of course, we're up higher too. I don't know if this is something you guys will enjoy or not, trying to get this thing trimmed. Yeah, I was reading, and the PMDG said put it at 100% sensitivity, 0 on the null zone, and I don't know. That was kind of a wild stallion there. On a level of 23. I take the auto throttles off too. .22 but 23. Should be right about in 2.5 degrees nose high when we get there. So I'm going to try maybe leveling it. I'll be able to really sync it up. No, yeah, man, that's sensitive. You know, that's the problem when you're a real 777 pilot. The control pressures that you normally would put on the yoke, because it's much heavier, will send this thing kind of crazy. All right, so it should be about 2.5 degrees. Just put a couple of flight attendants up in the ceiling there. Autopilot, auto throttles are off. Let's get up here, see if I can just possibly get it trimmed up here before I land at Boston. Not terrible. Let me decrease the range. See that? Minimal pressure on it. You know, the roll seems okay. It's the elevators. I mean, is it possible I have to decrease the sensitivity even more? That's exactly the opposite of what PMDG said to do. Control calibrations. Bravo throttle, no. Yoke. You go down here to 15. I know that's crazy. And I'll leave the nose zone at 10. Man. Making a lot of people sick back there. I don't know if there's even something you guys want to watch. I'm trying to get it to where I'm really comfortable with it. Maybe the null zone. Maybe the that's. Maybe the null zone is 0. Let's try null to 0. I'm not sure I'll even publish this. It's freaky. Let's try that. All right. There's a turn at Merritt. I should ask for the block, like a 3,000 foot block. I kind of like the way the ailerons are here. Still very sensitive. See that? Man. Trying to get a little heavier feel. I do have the extra spring installed on this. I'm very displeased with how it feels. I wonder if I put the sensitivity at 0. You know? Here comes the path down here. ATC be like, American, what the heck are you doing up there? Let me try this. Sensitivity is 0. Because this is feeling just herky-jerky. Yoke. Control calibration. 0. 0. I'll make it a little heavier, a little no zone. And go. If you take a look, here's the VNAV path going into Boston. I think what I'll do is just go direct. Departure, iOS 4, Goshi, Goshi, legs, direct Goshi. Oh, you gotta go to page 1. Goshi, direct. Lord only knows what the airplane's doing now. Probably doing better than me. All right, now we've got really almost no sensitivity. Does it fly a little better? Let's try it. Yeah, the airplane's much heavier. Okay, we're going to go direct to Goshi. My goal is to have this thing working and calibrated by the time I get there. Yeah, I kind of like, it's a little heavier, guys. We'll come up and catch the path now. Path being down here. Let's find out how far we are from the field. "85 miles. All right, and there's a VNAV path. You see it. We'll let the airspeed come up. Now the path should almost be an idle descent. Here it comes. So I should be able to go idle power here and lower the nose. Sorry you had to see this, but I'm a real 777 captain. You can see that there are some inherent differences between flying the sim. I did notice that the guy online, the Boeing pilot, real Boeing pilot, had the Boeing Yoke, and he was doing a lot of like real small corrections, which you would never do in the airplane, as I mentioned. You would not. Now it's a little easier going here with the throttles at idle, which we should be. See that little null zone? I'm going to put the null zone at 0. That's the amount you can move the yoke before, as you know. Put everything at 0. Everything is. If you look at the reset defaults, the 64 and 36, watch this. It's a lot. Altimeter just set.
Altimeter setting.
2994.
Altimeter setting.
And 95. 995. All right, so now I have it on default. See how it does. Which is way different than 0, 0, right? Way different. Has a big null zone. Yeah, that guy was doing a lot of little, because he had a yoke cam. A lot of real small corrections. Yeah, I've been playing with it a lot. I'm just not happy with the little jerks like that. I mean, the airplane does not fly like that. So I'm going to do this little hour flight to Boston and maybe learn nothing. You know? Maybe learn nothing. Yeah, I'll give you guys a break from watching me. All right, I've got a lot of aileron in here, and it's turning very slowly. That's bad and it's good, because the airplane is much heavier on the controls. Make sure it slows down to 250 below 10. So anybody you guys who fly the PMDG 777, there's a few of you out there. If you wouldn't mind, give me your calibration settings for the yoke. Problem I run into is, of course, I fly it, so my muscle memory is for certain control pressures, which is, like I said, it's a much heavier yoke. Got to give it a little more of a push to get that bad boy going down or going up than in the sim. So maybe it's just a matter of hand flying a lot and just getting used to it. Leave it on the calibrated settings and do it. It probably messed me up in the real airplane. So it's in pass, so it should slow down to 250 below 10. This thing waits till about 10.5 to do it. Real airplane right about now would go down to 250. PMDG aircraft waits a little longer. You'd make the other guy real nervous if you came down to 10.5 before you started trying to slow it. Like, here it comes. Take a look at this. Is it going to do it? Not yet. Is it not going to do it? Or does it level? There it goes. 250. Like I said, the other guy would get kind of nervous if you waited that long. Chime them out of 10. Flight attendants prepare for landing. Right now they probably all have their barf bags out. Yeah, that's a lot of control pressure right there. I should get a yoke cam. Slowing to 250 below 10. Trimming it up. The 777 does that when you're hand flying, does auto trim for you a lot. You kind of got to stay ahead of it. When you're doing rapid speed change, sometimes you got to stay ahead of it. We all trim anyway, just out of habit, pilot stuff. All right, there's 250. See if I can get it hands off. I mean, you should be able to, right? See, it's kind of hands off. I'm going to go up on the glare shield. Arm the approach. Yeah, I don't know if I'll publish this. It's kind of a good exercise to get used to flying it. Flaps 1, below 265. Yeah, I may have to do a couple of these legs to really get a feel for it. The hostage stick, before I put this Boeing yoke, I really had a good feel for that. So a lot of times it's just a matter of getting used to it. So this is the default settings that come with the Boeing yoke. And the calibration. Give you a few views, just so you don't have to watch me get sick here. All right, enough of that. Let's get back over here. We're below 245. We can go flaps 5. I got a lot of aileron in there. That's a big null zone. Go flaps 15, below 235. So auto throttle's off, autopilot, everything's off. Let's go back in here. Arm the spoilers. Auto brakes, put on 3. Speed. 143 will be the final. So we could actually put that in, right? Because we're hand flying it anyway. And there goes the ILS while we're dicking around here. Let's come back in here and straighten this out. See how it flies on final here. We'll go up and get the glide path. Yeah, a lot of slop in the yoke with the null zone. I may have to take this around, just do another one or two of these to try to find the feeling for this, because these are definitely not the settings. But it's better than that hypersensitivity. It's got a little more slack. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I've had this thing Getting it trimmed the whole flight, completely trimmed. All pressure's off. You should be able to fly hands off right about now. %55%, so that's what we should have. Yeah, 56. It's about right.
2,500.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I'll record them. I think I'm going to do today another one of these. Really try to find out, or at least leave it on default and just get used to it. Like I said, that guy was all little corrections. And maybe that's just how you got to fly the sim. You guys tell me. What we got for power setting? At 45, that's awful low. Should be more like 52, 53 at this weight. I've been trying to slow down a little, that's why. It's humbling. Yeah, it's going at like 46%. I know we're light, but we're not that light. And we are flaps 30. That's an awful low power setting. Stable. Maybe for the first time all flight. Yeah, finally it's going to take a little higher power setting. Yeah, I'm going to take a little this null zone. It's a little bit too much slack. Because you got to pull through it, and then when you get to the other side, it kind of hurts and jerks around a little, you know? Let's go outside.
Sync rate.
Yeah, we're fine.
Sync rate. Sync rate. Glide slow. 20. 10.
I don't know if you guys want to see that one. Interesting, though. I could use the help trying to figure out, you know, what's going on with this thing. Anyway, all right. Father Time's out. That was an experiment. Maybe you guys wouldn't mind seeing that. I'll take a look at it, see if it's worth publishing. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more shitty hand flying.